Today is not only Mutt Monday, but it's also National Rescue Dog Day. National Rescue Dog Day is celebrated annually on May 20th to bring awareness to the countless dogs in shelters awaiting their forever home. So here now with just one of the many dogs you could rescue from the Valley Animal Center is Ruben Cantu, and he brought along a very popular dog with the newsroom today. This is Enzo. So tell us about Enzo.
Yeah, so my buddy Enzo is estimated to be about a 2-year-old boxer mix who was unfortunately found on an abandoned property here in the city of Fresno. And he was reported an aggressive dog on the property, but the second he realized that the people were there to help him, he was so happy to see them. He absolutely loves people. He loves other dogs. He's even met my 2 daughters who are 7 and 8 years old, and he was obsessed with them.
One of our camera operators took him on a tour of the newsroom, and he was the happiest dog alive. I love Enzo. Okay, so we're thinking he is a boxer mix. And what else do we think he's mixed with?
You know, it could be something like Pitty in there. It could be some bulldog, like some old English bulldog, because he's a very stout dog.
He's so thick.
Yeah, he's probably about 55, 60 pounds, and he's a big energy dog. So he, like I said, maybe bulldog, maybe Pitty, but without a DNA test, we wouldn't 100% know.
And so he was reported as aggressive, but once he knew that he was safe, he was totally fine.
Yeah, his initial approach from the officer was to bark. You know, he was afraid. But the second that he realized, you know, there was treats in the hand and it was a welcoming voice, he came over tail wagging, rolled over for him, and then he came to us and has been nothing but a happy dog. He's never...
How does he do with other dogs?
Great with other dogs. Great in a playgroup setting. He loves other dogs his size. He's been around dogs that are smaller, and his cat tests have gone well. I would still say there's some testing to do, but for the most part, he's pretty comfortable around cats.
And you said that your daughters met him.
Yes, 7 and 8 years old.
He does well with kids too.
He loves them, and they were obsessed with him.
How old do we think he is?
He's about 2.
Okay, so yeah, he's still a little puppy. Maybe he still needs some training. Yeah. But you guys, when you adopt dogs, you do a complimentary training session.
Absolutely, as well as we give dog park passes to our dog park out at the facility. We also have a clinic wellness exam and half off their first grooming with us. So a ton of goodies that come with his adoption.
Okay, so we've seen a bit of his personality. What's his temperament like?
It's pretty much this. He's the goofiest dog. You know,
he's so goofy.
I love the word goober because he just is the definition of a goober. And so yeah, he rolls over on his back. He loves to have belly rubs. He's a big lap dog for being his size. He just wants to lay and cuddle with you.
I told you that he came to the newsroom and he shook, and he does have very big jowls, and drool went everywhere. He just reminds me of my dog Waylon, who also is a big goober. All right, so you've said that you've taken him to a couple baseball games, you've taken him out, and we've gotten no bites on this guy.
You know, he's had some interest, but nothing that's followed through for him, which is a shame because he meets most criteria for most homes here in Fresno.
He does, because he's thick, he's sturdy, but he's not very big.
Right.
He's definitely not, he's not Waylon's size. How much do we think he weighs?
I want to say about 55, 60 pounds.
Yeah.
He's a dense boy. Not so large, but dense.
He's dense. He's very if you're an apartment, this dog might pass for the 30, 25 pound. That dog looks like 25 pounds to me. So we haven't talked about this. Your story, because it's National Rescue Dog Day, and your story with the Valley Animal Center, and why rescuing dogs is so important to you.
You know, it comes down to it when I see these dogs in our kennels, it reminds me of my dogs that I've had in the past. You know, and if any one of my dogs was ever in a situation where they had to be in a shelter environment, that's the kind of care that we want to provide for them. You know, I look at Enzo like he's my personal pet for right now, and the hardest thing is to say goodbye to them, but ultimately that's the job. That's the goal, is for him to find a home that's his forever. And hopefully we find that through this avenue.
I know it's hard for you not to take this one home, but you've got a lot of dogs in the household. I want to stress, you know, the stray dog and the stray pet population in Fresno and why it's so important to adopt.
Absolutely.
What are you guys seeing at the Valley Animal Center?
We are seeing a higher intake of dogs, but we're also, at least for us, seeing a higher adoption rate, which has been nice. We have, for our dog adoption center, we've seen more adoptions this year, almost double the adoption this year than we saw last year. But that doesn't necessarily mean there isn't still an issue. Like you said, there's tons of strays here in the valley, and it doesn't get any easier. But a huge start is spaying and neutering, going out to your local rescue, fostering, adopting are all avenues to help us succeed in the future.
And I think too, people, you know, they'll go to a rescue once, and then they maybe don't find exactly the right fit, and then they think, okay, well, there's nothing there.
Right.
But Enzo is a perfect example of you just need to keep checking and keep seeing what dogs are there, because we all always want the dogs to get into the best home for them, and you might find the dog that you're looking for. Okay, we will have all of Enzo's information. We'll put it online. This dog needs to get into a forever home. We'll put it online. You can start the application process with Valley Animal Center. So today, National Rescue Dog Day. You could rescue this dog. Look at that face. You guys, Ruben, Enzo, thank you so much for being here. Coming up here in Central Valley today, the learning never stops. The local organization helping adults complete their education no matter how long they've been out of the classroom. After this.